Introductory video for MobileJudge 9.0. Team members include myself, Kyle Ryan, and Mario Fidalgo. Product owner and instructor and mentor is Musad Sajadi. The problem that every version of MobileJudge has faced, and the reason why it was created, was because at the end of every semester, the students enrolled in the senior project and VIP program hold a showcase of the projects they've been working hard on all semester long. These showcases allow the student to put to test the skills they have earned during their tenure at the university. Professionals and people of industry attend the showcase. A select few are invited to be judges in this prestigious event to grade and give feedback to the students on their performance. However, a central platform was needed for setting up the event, managing those involved, and processing the judges' feedback. The solution to this problem was MobileJudge. MobileJudge was developed as a centralized platform to address those concerns and allow access to administrators, students, and judges. The system allows for administrators to manage emails, users, and grades. Students are capable of viewing their grades after the showcase. Judges are provided with a list of students that they will be judging and their location for the day of the event. In addition, the judges can grade and leave their feedback right from inside the system. In version 9.0, a solution that we had to add on to the system was to implement the People and Grades tabs that had little or to no functionality before. So now with the People's tab, all the users can be managed, edited, removed, and reports can be downloaded. Inside the Grades tab, now the grades can be viewed, accepted, rejected, or left pending. This is all great functionality and helps Professor Sajadi manage the event much easier. This is our requirements. The use case diagram shows the requirements for the whole system. It's quite a mess because there's so many features, but basically the students can perform the view my grade, view event map, log in, log out. A judge can log in, log out, view the event map, register, select conflicts, leave comments, view assigned students, and grade a student. And the admin has numerous features that I will not dive into, but you can see them here in this use case diagram that's also in our documentation. So our system design is a very basic client-server model and also works off the MVC model, the model view controller model, where a user sees a view which is updated by a model which is manipulated by a controller, and that's the basic concept behind the model view controller model. This is our minimal class diagram. So basically it shows you the view from the admin, because that's where we focus on, and the controller for that view, and then that controller creates interviews, the grades, and the people, and there's a controller for each one of those, and you can just see how it all just trickles down from there. So the user stories that were assigned to myself and Mario are listed here. We tried to split the work as evenly as possible, and when either one of us needed help, we were both there for each other. So these user stories are explained in detail in the documentation, and Mario is going to dive into the 5 most important user stories that we felt for MobileJudge 9.0.
Okay, so our most important user story was user story 664, Add Students View to the Grades tab. So this was where we wanted to create a view that showed all the active students' grades for the semester. Each student record required to be displaying their name, email, project, accepted grade, the raw grade, and status. This is the base view that will include all the other features such as download grades, filter by, accepted, pending, and rejected, search bar, the ability to sort by any field, and the global status changer. Now on to our next slide is the snippet of code. This is not all the code, but it is a small portion of the code that consists of how to display the grid view of all the records. Onto the diagram, we see how it works when you go to the grades view tab. So you go to the grades, it loads all the students' grades from the store, it returns it and displays all the grade records. Finally, for this user story, there's a screenshot that shows you how it's implemented on the current production website. And for confidentiality, no name or email was displayed in this photo. Now, on to our next user story 665, add judges view for each student. Each student in the grades tab, when clicked, a pop-up will display, and that pop-up will contain the student's name, the project, the grade, and a list of judges assigned to that student. The list of judges will contain their names, the accepted grade, the raw grade, and the status for that one judge. Here's a little snippet code of load second view data. It's not all of it, it's just a little portion. Now onto our screenshot. The screenshot is a little animation of how the process of clicking on a student would appear. Next up is our third most important user story 666, add question view for each judge's grade. So each judge assigned to the students in that pop-up in the previous user story will now create another pop-up when clicked that will display all the questions. The questions view contains the student's name, the judge's name, the project, the grade, and a list of questions. Each individual question will contain the question, the grade, comment, and the status. This is also a little snippet of how the third view, or the questions view, is displayed. Now onto our screenshot. It's a little animation again of how the process works to get to this view. Next up is our fourth most important user story 656, add accept, append, reject button for each student. So in the grades section, or in the grades view, we have a traffic light icon. These traffic light icons has three different states. The green one is accepted, the yellow one is pending, the red one is rejected. And here is a little snippet of how it's rendered for each user when visiting the grades section. And again, here's an animation of how we cycle through this icon. It goes from green to red to yellow, depending on what Sajati wants the grade to be. Finally, our fifth most important user story 649, download student accepted grades. The student's grade view contains a download grade button, and the functionality of this button allows the user to download all the student's grade given the filters applied to the grid, as well as the sorting applied to any of the fields on the grids, whether it's ascending or descending. Now here's a little snippet of how the button is displayed and how the button is called when clicked. Next is our screenshot of the file being saved, and you can see the button above right next to the search bar. Lastly is our test case on the download grade button. So the test cases we have here is the sunny day and the rainy day. In our sunny day, our expected result is that we get a pop-up requesting the admin to save or open the CSV file. And when you open that file, it should display all the records that were in the current view. And we passed that test case. Our second test case is the rainy day. Given these preconditions, that the admin is logged in, currently on the grades tab, viewing the student's grades, and he clicks download but no filters are selected, the expected results is that no download would occur since no records are being displayed, since no filters have been selected. And the actual results are exactly that: a alert pop-up with saying that no filters are selected and our status was passed. We did these test cases manually. And I'll pass it on back to Cal.
So in closing, Mobile Judge is currently in version 9.0 as we stated, and will continue to improve throughout the years to provide the best user experience possible for the upcoming showcases. This version was mainly focused on the back end for the use of the administrator to ease the workload required for managing the showcases. The software development cycle used allowed for the improvement of Mobile Judge to be as optimal as possible and provide a professional work experience.